Okay. Good morning. Buenos dias. No, I like to hear that. This is a good day for us, right? I'm Luz Rivas, proud to represent the East San Fernando Valley in the State Assembly. I'm your Assembly member. I also represent the city of San Fernando. Thank you all for joining me today. I see a lot of mental health advocates here, and we're here to celebrate the $1 million state investment for El Centro de Amistad. Oh, yeah, right. This funding will facilitate El Centro's expansion of mental health and family services. As you all know, mental health is critical in our community. El Centro de Amistad is a distinguished bilingual and cross-cultural nonprofit that has been a vital pillar of our community, offering essential mental health and family services. Mental health is an essential component of our overall well-being, and it's time that we prioritize it, just as much as we prioritize our physical health. Mental health challenges have risen, especially in our community, and this expansion will directly address the urgent need for more accessible and comprehensive care here in San Fernando and the surrounding communities. The need for accessible mental health services has never been greater, and this funding marks a significant step forward. With these resources, El Centro de Amistad will be able to expand its range of services, ensuring that more individuals can access the support they need. This is why I was proud to advocate for El Centro, because I know that this funding will allow for expansion to not only address the immediate needs of those seeking assistance, but will also pave the way for a stronger, more resilient community in the long run. Specifically, this investment will be utilized to expand the existing facilities that we're standing right next to, fostering increased access to vital mental health, family, and wraparound services, and also legal services for the community. Mental health is a fundamental aspect of overall health, and this funding shows our dedication to a holistic approach to care. This expansion is not just about providing services, it is about breaking down the stigma surrounding mental health, especially in the Latino community. By offering these resources openly, we're encouraging people to seek help without fear of judgment. Now, I would like to welcome the City of San Fernando Mayor, Celeste Rodriguez.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to join you today on behalf of the San Fernando City Council to express our gratitude for this incredible investment by Assemblymember Luz Rivas and for the services that have been continuing to be provided by El Centro de Amistad. San Fernando is a beautiful, hardworking, predominantly Latino community. And like the Assembly member mentioned, unfortunately, we still have a way to go when it comes to talking about mental health, even with everything that's been happening over the last few years and still happening today. But all of us, all of our families, know someone who's struggling with mental health, have a child that's struggling with mental health, or ourselves have struggled with our mental health. And the fact that we have such a wonderful asset and resource so readily available here at El Centro de Amistad makes it that much more possible for our families, our residents, our neighbors to seek help that they need. And it's not only mental health resources, as the Assembly member mentioned. There's other resources that are provided here, including those wonderful moments like preparing students for school with school supplies or providing a basket during the holidays for families. We have generations here in San Fernando, and the fact is El Centro has been here growing with our community. I know there's a staff member celebrating over 2 decades being here at El Centro de Amistad, and it's resources like this that the Assembly member has secured to grow this resource in our community that's going to help it continue to grow with our community for generations and decades to come. So thank you all so much for this resource and for these resources. We invite many more resources to come in the future to our humble, beautiful town. And we're just so grateful to be here amongst you all celebrating this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rodriguez. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Danitza Pantoja, El Centro de Amistad Board President, and also coordinator of psychological services for the Antelope Valley Union High School District. I first met Danitza over 5 years ago, and she was the very first person to tell me about the wonderful services that El Centro de Amistad offers. So I'm so excited that we're here today. Welcome.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Rivas and Mayor Rodriguez, and we extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for gathering here today as we commemorate a truly momentous milestone at El Centro de Amistad's journey. With profound pride and gratitude, we stand united to honor the invaluable contribution of Assemblywoman Rivas and the California State Legislature. As we find ourselves at this juncture of transformation and growth, we reflect upon the remarkable trajectory that has led ECDA to this pivotal moment. ECDA's story began in 1977 when a dedicated group of residents from Canoga Park came together, united by a shared vision, to establish a sanctuary of solace and support, a safe haven for their community. Founded upon a profound commitment to elevate the overall well-being of the local community, El Centro de Amistad emerged as a grassroots organization. This grassroots endeavor marked the inception of El Centro de Amistad, setting it on a trajectory that would ultimately lead to becoming a comprehensive mental health agency, touching the lives of thousands. Now fortified by this additional state funding, thank you again, we stand poised to magnify our positive impact even further. From ECDA's modest origins as an outreach program, ECDA has evolved into an organization that provides comprehensive, culturally competent range of services, including individual, family, and group therapy, case management, medication support, legal services, and employment placement. ECDA's growth has been distinguished by an unwavering commitment to excellence and an unrelenting pursuit of community well-being. In the present day, our collective dedication encompassing elected officials, board members, devoted staff, which we have here with us today, volunteers, and the community at large, overflows with the commitment to bringing healing to families and empowering individuals to forge a brighter tomorrow. With an ever-expanding suite of services, we have flourished into a beacon of hope for over 100,000 individuals, extending them comprehensive care meticulously tailored to their unique needs. And now a new chapter beckons. With heartfelt appreciation for the generous support of Assemblymember Rivas, we stand on the cusp of yet another transformative phase. $1 million investment will empower us to expand our existing facility, and this expansion will not only amplify our capacity to serve the community, but also bridge critical gaps, connect resources, and infuse hope into the lives of those who need it most. El Centro de Amistad's mission remains resolute: to deliver comprehensive mental health services that anticipate the ever-evolving needs of families and individuals in the San Fernando Valley. We stand firm in our commitment to nurture and safeguard the mental health and overall well-being of children, adults, and families. As we progress, we do so brimming with gratitude for our community, our dedicated staff, and unwavering supporters, among them Assemblywoman Rivas and the City of San Fernando. Their steadfast support makes our work possible, and we are truly honored to be part of this transformative journey. Our legacy of compassion care and community engagement endures. We will persist in promoting mental health, fostering resilience, and contributing to the well-being of the San Fernando Valley. Together, we shape a brighter future for every member of our community, and this collective spirit shall guide us on our onward path. Thank you again, and thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Pantoja. Next, I would like to welcome Luis Cervantes, the executive director of El Centro de Amistad. And I'll start with a little story of how I met with him. About last fall, he came to my office. I had just announced state funding to several different organizations in my district. I think he heard about it and right away came and made an appointment in my district office. He explained to me why this funding would be critical to expand services to so many people that need it in this community. You know, when I grew up, our parents are immigrants. So my parents are immigrants from Mexico. They didn't encourage me to get help, mental health. There was this huge stigma, especially in the Latino community. And this organization has grown under Luis's leadership to be a trusted advisor that in this community, but now it's overflowing, right? They need more space. And when he pitched his idea, I immediately went back to Sacramento and like, we have to make this happen. We need to deliver for El Centro. But at the beginning of the year, the governor told us that our state budget was not looking good and to not expect any district funding requests. But we still put them in. I advocated, and that's why I'm so happy to be here that we made this happen together. So this is the executive director that made this happen, Luis Cervantes.
Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for being here and joining us. You know, El Centro de Amistad. I love saying that. El Centro de Amistad. You know, for many in the community, this agency is essential. It's vital, right? We've heard about mental health, particularly because of the way we do our work, right? There's many agencies that have bilingual services as an add-on. We are bilingual mental health services. No one else like us in Los Angeles. And that visibility is something we've been working really, really hard at for the last couple of years. Our staff, top-notch, amazing. I mean, really, the camera should be focused on them, truly. And all of them they're all bilingual. They speak better Spanish than I do. But you being here means so much to us because these funds are critical to our work. These funds are going to allow us to continue to steward this organization forward. These funds are going to allow us to bring in additional mental health clinicians to work in our community. Our clinicians go into schools, into homes, anywhere where they can have an opportunity to have a private confidential meeting with the clients, our community. So we are really excited about this. But you know, I was going to tell the story as well that Assemblywoman Rivas just said. You know, I think we bumped into each other in several meetings, different places in Sacramento and here. And one occasion, we were kind of crossing paths in Sacramento. She goes, "Why are you here again?" And I was actually there because of Vaughn Charter Schools as part of, I'm on their board. And I appreciated that because you know, one of the things that's important for us is the concept of family, familia. And, you know, to me, everyone you see up here, really, that's how I think of them. And that's really who our staff is ultimately. So we're excited about what we're going to be able to do with space use in our building and being able to add on the clinicians, case management, intake as well. Our facility as a whole, it's really 3 small buildings that is comprises about 5,600 square feet of space. So we're hoping to grow it by at least a quarter more. That will allow us to continue to advance those services here in San Fernando. About the city of San Fernando, very proud that we are here. I grew up just not too far away from here, Pacoima. And so it's such an honor to be able to serve this agency in the cities that we're in, and particularly here in San Fernando, and the surrounding communities that we're also serving of Sylmar, Pacoima, North Hills, and Panorama City. I mean, where you need us, we will be there. because I already said it. We have amazing staff and we do incredible work. So with that, I'm really excited. Just the Mayor San Fernando's here with us today as a partner and friend. Our board members, and two of them, and you're going to hear of one in a bit as well, and they're also present with you. This is a collective effort, right? You can't do anything alone. And, I think the part of the partnership from a Latino community is really important that we ask, right? And it's not even ask. It's like, well, let's partner together on something. Let's make something greater. And Assemblywoman Rivas, thank you so much, because you're part of that legacy in our agency and are continuing to grow forward and move forward our community. Muchas gracias. At this time, I'd like to introduce the last speaker for today, which is one of our board members, and I'll let him do the full intro on himself, Justin Grooms.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Assemblywoman Rivas. And thank you for not getting a restraining order on Luis. Sounds like he might have needed one. And you trying to steal my thunder, I want to give a shout out to the staff. I mean, it's always good to see you all, but they do all the work, so give yourselves a round of applause. When I first joined the board, it was really because we talked about this word stigma. There's such a stigma around mental health, not only in the communities like the one I grew up in, but obviously communities like the city of San Fernando and the surrounding areas. We just don't talk about it. It's not something that we really vet, that we really discuss in our households. So I joined the board because I wanted to make it a topic that we talked about more often, that was more common to discuss. Being on the board and partnering with El Centro, what you find out is that most of the issues that we deal with as a society have an undercurrent of mental health, right? Mental health issues. And so, you can't legislate that out, right? It's easier to look at housing and look at jobs and look at things of that nature. But to me, that's kind of treating the symptoms, right? And the root problem oftentimes is mental health. And so it's the staff in El Centro and what they do, that one person at a time kind of helps that situation, right? So if we can tackle one household at a time, we can change a community over time. So I really appreciate the work that we do. Also, the funds, obviously, they're going to help a great deal, not only to add resources and space, but additional training, continuing education for our staff, and things of that nature. So, once again, I'm just proud to serve. And, we've talked more about expanding, obviously, into other communities. I don't speak Spanish well, but I can speak Spanish. Don't put me on the spot. But there are, communities like the ones I'm a part of that could use some of these resources. So as we continue to grow and expand, we also want to include other communities and people who are dealing with issues that El Centro specializes in tackling. So thank you again for allowing me to speak, and thank you again for the donation.
Thank you, Luis and Justin. And I know we're joking about Luis stalking me, but you need to advocate, right? All of us here, a lot of us, especially Latinos, we were taught to be humble. Don't say anything. Don't ask for anything. Stay quiet. But that doesn't serve us well, right? We need to advocate. So he was doing his job. I was knocking on doors, calling the governor's office, the assembly speaker's office, like, I need this 1 million. This is a priority, right? And that's what's great about it, because if we're all like that, we're gonna get what our communities need. And I know that I'm looking at all the wonderful staff here that do the day-to-day work, that talk to the families that are in need, the children that are struggling with mental health. And you are my heroes. You're doing the work every day. Thank you for helping everyone in our community that is struggling and needs mental health support. I really appreciate your work. Like we mentioned, securing this funding was a collective effort. And if you're not familiar with the state budget process, it starts in January and ends around June. And that's when, as legislators, we start to advocate for what we need in our communities. We don't always get what we want, but we prioritize. And, you know, El Centro mental health funding was a priority for me. You know, I want to thank all the staff and administrators of El Centro for working with my team. That was a major part of this effort to support this investment and for being a strong pillar in this community. You know, thank you all for joining us today in this celebration. And I know that this funding will have a positive impact in our community. Sometimes we invest in things when we never hear about it ever again. We don't know if the money was used and what it was used for. But I'm confident that this $1 million, we will see the benefit in our community immediately. Because of all of the people that are here today, these strong leaders that will make this happen in our community. So thank you very much for all of you for being here today. Next, I want to make brief comments in Spanish for the Spanish press that's here today. This is a bilingual institution, right? And I do speak Spanish, probably not as good as the therapists that are here today. And so this does not reflect on the, but okay, yeah, okay. Much better than Justin. Of course, I grew up bilingual. I'm very fortunate. Spanish is my first language, but I learned English in preschool. And like many of you today, I just want to respect the Spanish press that's here. So, buenos días. Yo soy la assemblista Luz Rivas y estoy muy orgullosa de representar esta comunidad en la Asamblea Estatal. Gracias a todos por estar aquí para celebrar esta inversión en nuestra comunidad. Es $1 millón para el Centro de Amistad. Estos fondos van a facilitar la expansión de los servicios de salud mental y familiares para la comunidad aquí en la ciudad de San Fernando o otras ciudades cerca que vienen al Centro de Amistad por los servicios. El Centro de Amistad es una organización sin fines de lucro bilingüe que ofrece los servicios en español e inglés para nuestra comunidad y son servicios esenciales de salud mental y para las familias. La salud mental es esencial para el bienestar de nosotros y es ahora algo que estamos priorizar. Ay, no puedo decir. Es algo tan importante como nuestra salud física, ¿verdad? La salud mental. Y la necesidad de estos servicios de salud mental es muy grande en esta comunidad, ¿verdad? Mucha gente necesita estos servicios y ellos les tienen confianza al Centro de Amistad. Y por eso estos fondos, $1 millón, es importante porque el centro va a poder expandir y ofrecer más servicios para la comunidad que lo necesita mucho. Y por eso estoy orgullosa de estar aquí. Estamos aquí con el alcalde de la ciudad de San Fernando y con los que trabajan aquí y que ofrecen estos servicios. Le quiero dar las gracias a todos que están aquí, que ayudan a la gente que tiene esta necesidad, porque la salud mental, nosotros como latinos, nuestros padres son inmigrantes y hace años, ¿verdad? No querían esta ayuda, ¿verdad? De salud mental. Para mí nunca me hablaron en mi casa de ir por ayuda. Si yo tenía algo, pues entonces nomás tú resuelve esto, ¿verdad? No nos apoyaran para ir a recibir estos servicios, ¿verdad? Y por eso, pero ahora es un nuevo día, ¿verdad? Y hay muchos de nosotros que apoyamos y les decimos a la comunidad que si necesitan ayuda, que vayan a recibirla. Y el centro es uno de los lugares que ofrece servicios bilingües para la salud mental. So, muchas gracias a todos y ahora vamos a celebrar y vamos a entregar, ¿verdad?, el cheque de $1,000,000 para el Centro de Amistad de parte del Estado de California. So yeah, that's why we're here, right? So next, I would like to invite all the speakers to join me with a check presentation of $1,000,000 from the state of California. Should we go?
On the count of three, I'll take my first picture here. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Right here.
Okay, thank you. So I have to say that this is the fun part about my job, giving a check for $1,000,000, right? Oh, it's so much fun. But next, we're open to any questions. I would direct them to Luis or the board president if anyone has any questions for us about this investment. No questions? Okay, that's great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Next, we're going to stay here and celebrate. I definitely want a photo with all the staff that I'm facing in the audience with that check, because this is for you, for you to be able to do your jobs more effectively. So thank you all for joining us today.
Great. Well, again, thank you to everyone for being here. We do have Taquero is supposed to be here. I don't know what to say about that, but they will be here if you stick around. But we have drinks out in the back and just opportunities for you to mingle, get to know each other a little better. So thank you for all for being here.